Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be looking at the MTM PF22.3 I believe conversion kit, and I've bought it but not for the reason you might think. So let's get into it, stay till the end and see why I've bought it. So everyone, before we get into the video, if you're new here, please give me a follow, and if you do find the video, do give it a like. I spend my own money on all these products, so it's nice and helpful if you follow me and watch to the end. Helps the channel grow. So guys, a while back, for many years ago, I bought this, the MTM PF Cannon, and I really liked it. It was amazing, brilliant, fantastic. I loved it, but I've got chemical in here, I've got snow foam in here, but this bottle was absolutely horrible. Let me find a container to pour it out in and I'll show you why. Right guys, so I've emptied it out, and the issue was with this, it was too heavy, and especially with the heavy head what it's got, and I've got this big connector at the back. It doesn't take much for it to fall over if I just tap it, and it is very wobbly. When you have some chemical in it or any product in it, it's not too bad, but this was really top heavy, so it, you know, if you had a bit of a wobble on the table and it's gone, it doesn't take much of a little nudge and it's gone, as you can see. So recently MTM came out with this conversion kit, which I've got mixed views, and I had mixed views then, and I went and bought it not particularly for the MTM but for something else, which I'll get into. So this came out, and I think a lot of people are selling this for about £12 and this for about £8-9, but I managed to buy a lot of detailing related product websites. They've got them on for about £21-22 individual. The way it works out, I think it comes up to about £21. I managed to find it on eBay for £19.99, £20, so which I thought it wasn't too bad. Ideally, personally, I think this should have been around £15 would have been nice, and I would have been happy with that. £15, not too much, but £20 is just a little bit extra in my opinion. So we'll get into this now. This head, the top part, will screw into here, which allows you to have a wide mouth bottle, and then it won't tip over as much. Now, you know, I've seen a few other people reviewing saying that they had issues with these tabs. I've had a bit of play around with this, and it has cut into a bit, but not too much. But my main concern with this is, if you look closer, they've got, can you see that little notch there? And then on the long part there is no notch, and then again here there's a little notch. Now I've marked this up. I feel personally that this should have a set way going, so when I put it here, I want this part to line up with the markings. So if I can get around, it just sits on top and clicks around. It's not too hard, but the first 2 times I put it on, it was a bit difficult. Now what that kind of does, I don't know if you can see, it kind of makes a line then and a little notch there, and I don't think you'd want it on the other ones. Now there's a notch on 2 sides, so on the short gap there's a notch, on the wider gap there isn't, and then on the shorter gap again there's a little notch there, and then again on the wider gap there isn't. So personally for me, I'd want it to line up correctly every time. So what I've done is I'm going to put a sticker on later on, and I've just put a little mark there for now, so when I look at it, it can just slots into place, and that's it. So what you're supposed to do is unscrew your old bottle. I've added a weighted ball to this, and this is another thing that I'm going to get onto, and then you just screw it in. And I've been playing around with it, and if you hold it from there, there's not much of an issue. And I've only got it today, and I've just been clicking about, and it seems to be all right now. I don't see there being a bit much of an issue. I think only one time when I tried opening it, that it come off, the top came off. And I think it is there tight, but I think I might get an O-ring to put in there, but I'll see how it is like with the O-ring. But one of the issues I've got is, I've bought this as a kit, a conversion kit together, but I think they should have had another straw in there because this is too long, and when you're closing it you can feel that bit of resistance there, especially when you're screwing it on with this, it's too long, then that's an additional cost. I think it's just a little bit too much for what I would have liked, but on the whole, it saves me buying another foam cannon, because I stopped using this. I used to use this just for, you know, if when I'm out there and I'm using a few different foam cannons, this would just be like, oh, I'll just use it for a little bit of stuff. I wouldn't reach for it. I'd go for my wide mouth cannons mainly, most of them, or for my other MJJC tall bottle one where it didn't tip over as much. And also with this bottle, it's empty at the moment, but if you're really going to nudge it, then it's got these little dimples on the bottom, and it's more stable compared to the other one. Now this bottle, see, I've put it on wrong there, and it just doesn't feel right to me, so that's why I think it should line up there, and I'm going to put a sticker there. This bottle it's nice. It's got this rough texture here. It really helps, and I've tried it with wet hands, and it is all right, it's decent. What I like about this is that the bottle is like an oval shape, if you can tell. It's not a perfect circle, the actual bottle, and I think that might aid stability. Now the writing compared to my old bottle, this is dirt air, but the markings on the bottle, they do seem a bit better. I don't know if you think maybe it's because it's a newer bottle, but I do really like this bottle, and I think MTM have done well in producing this, because then people like me, we don't have to go buy a new foam cannon for 60, 70, 80 pound, however much they are, the wide mouth, and I can just buy this for 20 quid and it's not a big issue. Now another thing I didn't like is that, you know, obviously I've bought a conversion kit. I know it's just the seller put it together, and every other seller I've seen, they sell the items individually. When you buy the new foam cannon, you get a new pickup straw with the weighted ball at the bottom, and it's quite decent from what I've seen, and they give you a cap. Now with these being a weird thread, I really struggled to find a cap, and I've managed, certain caps don't go on there, but I had this from something else before, so I can put this cap on this bottle and leave that there, and you know, use it as storage if I want to change it over. Now that brings me on to the other issue, is because they've got this quick release, I think they should have just gone with normal threads personally, because this quick release is too much effort. I let my son try it, and usually if my son tries something and he gets it straight away, I know it's so easy, but I had to kind of show him and tell him this is the way you got to do it, and it's just a bit difficult. Like, I know a lot of people, they're not going to bother, they're just going to be putting on anyway and putting the different grooves in, and I do think these little notches are there to kind of cut into the plastic and have a set place to be there, and it's just it's not as easy as anyone who just gets this. You can just put it on anyway, and the MJGC just slots. It's just so effortless, and that kind of system, it works, but just that little bit extra effort you got put, it's not effortless in my opinion. But on the whole, I'm really happy that they've made this, but they have missed out on some. If they had a little thread in there, if they threaded that in, they could have had, you know, a bit more flexibility in my opinion, where you could have had your older bottles, you know, fitting on there, and it would have been half decent in that sense. This is my old straw. It's quite rigid. I just picked up one of these. I bought a load of these, and I've upgraded mine, and I don't know, I can't remember how much they were, and this tube won't fit on there because this tube is too wide. And then I kind of, all of this is very stiff. I managed to push a pen in there to kind of open it up, and then I put this in, and that's it. So really happy with that to a certain extent. Could have been better, but no one else is doing anything like this, and the main reason I've bought it, I will show you now. Now I think all other foam cannon producers have missed out on something really important here. A lot of us have these foam cannons out there, whatever brand. This is the original MJGC, one of the first ones. It came before the SV3. This one was here, and this does have a problem of being top heavy as well. Now I've actually realistically bought it for this, because I do like this foam cannon. It gives out some thick foam, and I do believe that with this conversion kit, I'm gonna buy another one hopefully, but for this MJJC, it does go. It goes on. If you can see it there, it's sat down flush. And then instead of having to buy a new MJJC, if you've got this, you can just buy this for 20 quid and you're sorted. And that is actually one of the main reasons I bought it, because I do like this MJJC, and it kind of was a bit, you know, I'd use it occasionally because again this bottle wasn't decent, and I like this wide mouth. They're more stable, and I think a lot of foam kind of producers need to consider this, of creating something like this, not necessarily with this MTM bottle, but you know, in regards to say something like the MJJC bottle, where you've got that attachment that just goes on there, have this screwed into there, and you can just use your MJJC wide bottle or any other wide bottle that you've got out there. But for now, I'm going to leave it on my MTM because I've not had the luxury of using it for a long time, and it is a very good foam can. I've liked it, and I think it's a good innovation that they've come out with. Could have been slightly better, but you know, I'm not going to complain because I get to start using it again and not have an issue of it being top heavy or anything like that. If you guys have bought this, let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'll put a link in to eBay from where I bought it. I think that's the cheapest I found it, and that was £20 including delivery. And you know, I think everyone else was like £21, £22 when it worked out, and then you've got to pay the delivery on top of that. So I was really happy with that £20. I'll be hopefully getting another one unless someone brings out a conversion kit directly for one of these with the screw-on bottles, which will be better for me in my opinion, because I'm not too keen on this quick release. I'm gonna have to, you know, like now I've not put it on the right one. Well, it might not bother you, but you know, it's one of them where I think they should have had a set way of it going on, personally. Right guys, one other letdown for me personally is, you know, obviously this is how I've got my setup. I've got these hooks. I can show you all my other cannons. They're hooked on here. Most of them are on there. Right, so unfortunately this one is not going to go on a hook. There's not enough clearance there. I mean, other people might have other storage methods there. It's just sitting right on the edge. It's not stable in there. It's not getting any clearance underneath there, if you can see. So unfortunately it's relegated to the shelf now instead, so I'll have to move my turtle wax one over here. That'll fit on there. And it's not the only one. I've got an issue with this, with the Auto Bright Direct one as well, but that one don't go on there as well. So turtle wax it is. You're going on the shelf, MTM. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care and bye bye.